All right, folks, good morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, for today, November the 6th, we have the following information. We've got at 1:01 p.m. Eastern, we'll have a 30-year bond auction. That will be the only report coming out today, and it's not expected to have a major impact, but of course, the major impact is that we have the results from last night's election, which is basically saying that President Trump will be returning to office. So far, the markets have responded mostly positively. So let's take a look here at that. So here's the QQQ ETF, and it is clearly up from where it was yesterday. And yesterday's action was mostly bullish, not extremely, but mostly bullish, right? And we did see some particular stocks get a really large boost overnight, and they're exactly the stocks that we should have expected would have received a boost. So energy stocks, and also Tesla got a big boost, and that makes sense since Elon Musk is the head of Tesla, and of course he's working closely with the Trump campaign, very closely, and was a big donor and influencer as well. So let's take a look here at these stocks and let's see what's going on. So before we do that, let's look at yesterday's action before we do that. So only one stock to mention from yesterday, and that was Tesla. Yesterday's trading was not so good. We did not get good traction at all. Um, but today's, we did find Tesla, which was bullish. It was able to hit our target number one to the upside, and then that was it. So we were able to profit from Tesla. But other than that, other stocks we found, we had two losses and two break evens basically yesterday. So I just called it quits on looking for new trades and waited for the end of a session, and then we went from there. All right, so Tesla currently up 12% on 17.7 million shares. Of course, it's way above $1 per share as always. So we will add this to our pre-market radar, Tesla. Okay. Next up is AREB, and that is currently up 39% on 15.9 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add AREB to our pre-market watch list. All right, next up we have CELH, which is one of the few stocks that are down this morning. It's down off of earnings, currently down 6.24%. 1.8 million shares are traded. It's at least $1 per share, so we'll add CELH to the pre-market watch list as well. Next up, we have CHPT. Oh, sorry, that's an NYSE stock. Sorry. Next, we have CLSK, which is presently up about 10.7%. 3.2 million shares are traded, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll add CLSK to the pre-market watch list as well. All right, moving on, we've got Coinbase, which is presently up 12.3% on 2 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. Coinbase, of course, is a crypto exchange, and of course, President Trump has made it clear that he is very pro cryptocurrency, so that is benefiting Coinbase. We did look at a long position in Coinbase yesterday, which was up, but we got stopped out after we got in, so there you go. All right, next up we have DATS, and that is currently up 94.4% on 31.2 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. There is some related news on that. It says here back in October of this year that DatChat's Dragon Interact subsidiary to launch a Trump trivia AI generated podcast. So there may be some connection there to the election. So anyway, it's up substantially overnight. So we'll go ahead and add that DATS to our pre-market watch list as well. All right, next up is that one's not up enough. Next one is Robinhood, and that's currently up 10.66% on 1.8 million shares roughly. It's over $1 per share. Of course, Robinhood is an online broker that became famous for mobile trading and fractional shares and zero commission trades. Of course, Robinhood would benefit from a very active stock market. Also, there you can expect trading in different assets that tend to be related to crypto. So I think Robinhood offers crypto trading too. But anyway, it's up. Next up is INTC. Okay, that's currently not up enough, under 5%. So we'll skip that one. Next up is Lucid. Nope, that's not up enough. Never mind. All right, let's see. Mara is up. Of course, that's a cryptocurrency stock. Currently up about 9%, 5 million shares. It's over $1 share, of course. That also makes sense since, of course, it's a crypto-related stock. Some small movement in NVIDIA, but not much, so I'll skip that one. PYUN. It was up a much more, but it's currently up about 16% on 6.6 million shares. Is at least $1 per share. Let's see. Phunware is linked to Trump somehow. Let's see. The company has historical connections with Trump, President Trump, having developed the mobile application first. Okay, yeah. So I guess there are some. That's not a really strong connection there, but clearly the market moved as a result. But it's not a very strong connection in my observation. So that may be a more or less flimsy move. Plug Power is down. Currently down 17.06% on 7.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. Plug Power, let's see. I don't think green energy stocks are going to do quite as well. I'm not saying that they're going to suffer during a new administration, but they're not expected to have the same benefits they maybe had in the current administration. Next up is Riot. That's currently up 8.65%, 2.5 million shares traded, and it's over $1 per share. So we'll add that to our pre-market list. Rivian is currently down. I don't think it's down enough to qualify. Nope, only down 4.44%. All right, SMCI is down off of earnings, down sharply, 17.55% down. 8.5 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. They did have some negative news before, if you remember, based upon some news related to their accounting, if I remember correctly. Some questions about their accounting practices. I think that came out back on late October, if I remember correctly. So, but I think if I remember correctly, there was some questioning about that, and the stock came down. So there we go. Looks like more pressure after earnings. All right, so SMCI is added to our pre-market list. All right, next up is SOFI, which is currently up 6.74% on 4.1 million shares. It's over $1 per share. So add SOFI to our pre-market watch list. Next up, we have Tilray, TLRY, which is currently down 7.34%, about 2.5 million shares, it's at least $1 per share. I suppose the market is responding since there was nothing in the Trump agenda that I saw that was explicitly pro marijuana. It's not that it was anti, but not very pro. So also, I see here that here in Florida, where I live, the amendment to for cannabis legalization was rejected, most likely due to the fact that that bill had a strong monopolistic um, nature, and that it gave a lot of benefit to one company in particular. Although it was noted that both Presidents Harris and Trump seemed to support the bill, but nevertheless, I'm sorry, Vice President Harris and President Trump, but it didn't pass either way. So maybe that's one of the negative impacts on that. And finally, we have WULF, WULF. It's up 12% on about 1.8 million shares. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list as well. Okay, so that's everything we have, guys, that I've found. I'm sure there are other stocks. So if you see any other stocks that look really impressive that are up overnight and they have the right volume profile. So we need at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume. Stock must be at least $1 per share. Must have achieved at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. Let's look for stocks that are bigger movers if we can, since we have such a long list. And of course, must be NASDAQ listed. So if you see any other stocks that really stand out, let me know in the chat. But we already have a very long list of stocks, which I'm going to paste right now. There we have it. MSTR, let's take a look. Did I already do that one? No, I didn't. All right, currently at 10.84%, 2.2 million shares. Sure, we can add that. DJT, yes, I forgot, and I was thinking about that. I didn't see that show up on my scan, but I'm sure it's not up that much, but it's up 26%, not as much as I thought it would be. 41 million shares, so we'll definitely add DJT to the pre-market radar. All right. So let's go ahead and wrap up for today. Folks, please be sure to like the video. I see we have 10 likes, but more than 10 people watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. That'll greatly help us with the YouTube algorithm. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications. If anyone's watching this video on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, go ahead and check out fundertrading.com, our website. You will see a link in the description of this video. For everyone part of the coaching program, we'll see you there in about 17, 18 minutes, something like that. And then we'll pick up for today's session. Other than that, everyone have a great trading day. Remember, volatility is likely to be substantial, so be very careful about your trades, okay? This is where you want to start smaller. I know a lot of times after an event like this, people want to take bigger risks, but you want to be careful about that because with bigger volatility, there's a lot bigger of a chance that you might get knocked out of a trade. So just be very, very, very careful, okay? All right, folks, have a great trading session. I'll see you for tomorrow's Pre-Market Pulse. Take care.